Alright guys, welcome back to D-Tech. Today's project vehicle is going to be this 2014 Honda Civic, and it was brought to me from another shop for having various lights on the dash. It's got like check engine light, traction lights, power steering lights, all those lights that come on. I'll do a full system scan. I'll get you a shot of the trouble codes and see which direction we're going to need to go to try to rectify any or all of the lights with whatever we can do here. Alright guys, so let me start this just to get you a good shot of what all lights are on. So I'm not going to worry about the tire pressure. So we've got check engine, let's see what else, ABS, again traction control, and there's the also having a power steering. So bunch of lights. And I've done full system scan, so I'll get you a shot of that. This is the health report. In the engine computer, we've got an air fuel ratio sensor code, evap circuit code. Those are current. And then for the ABS, a right front wheel speed sensor, and that's current. Obviously tire pressure sensor. Power steering is just telling us that there's a problem basically in the traction / ABS over here, so not too concerned with the power steering trouble code. And I know a lot of times a lot of these lights can come on when there's one small thing wrong with traction and so on and so forth. So check engine light, I'm not gonna chase that just yet. I would like to attack and deal with the wheel speed sensor code in order to try to rectify multiple things and try to get rid of a lot of the lights first, and then maybe depending on what the customer wants, we might chase the check engine, because I do believe he mentioned a little bit more concerned with all the multiple messages coming on there, which are naturally related with the issue it looks like that we are having in the ABS. So with that, let me come up with a plan to start looking at the speed sensor code issue. Alright guys, so the first thing that I would like to do is just verify in the data stream of the ABS that we are not getting any signal, and I just want to look at all the other ones. So I've got all four wheels selected, and I can actually, if we hit graph, I'll pull up all four at one time, and I'm going to go ahead and spin from, let's go from the left side to the rear this way and come up to, we'll leave our supposed faulted one last. Now I am at the front right. I'm going to spin it now. And so nothing. It just reiterates with the trouble code. All our other wheels are obviously producing a proper signal. So let's move forward. And a couple of things to note from the just visual inspection. The vehicle seems to have been in a front right accident. So there's been some repair damage, and I unclipped that. It didn't come. It did not. It did not come in with that loose, and the panel I removed. So I was just checking around, and that's what I noticed. The other thing, it has a brand new speed sensor here on the right, and also on the left side, which I don't know if we can capture anything there. But so both front wheel speed sensors were replaced, and obviously we know this one is working based off of the no code, and then let's see, ability to graph. So we will just continue moving forward with testing. And I'm going to start off just simple. I pulled up the connector diagram, and I've colored the pins that have to do with the wheel speed sensors. So it's pin 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 17, 18, 19, and 21. So those are the ones that have to do with the circuits, and I'm gonna ohm out. So I'm gonna unplug from the ABS module, which is right here. It is on the right side, so don't know if it's gonna be a wire damage issue or who knows. But I'm gonna unplug this connector and then basically ohm out the 2 pins per sensor for each wheel, and get a known good values from basically start to finish, looping around, ohming it for each sensor. And then obviously we'll look at what the right front reading is, and we'll compare all of them. Okay, so I am pinned all the way to the right. That is for the right front, and I'm getting the reading in the 23 mega ohms. So let me show you the left front. Okay, so now I am in the left front, and I'm getting pretty much the same reading there on the meter. So that right there is a single test. I know it's not a loaded test for the actual wires, but it's at least telling me something. So let's continue on. And just for giggles to show you, I am now pinned in the, I think it's the right rear. Let me double check. Yeah, so right rear, and that's my reading there. And then I'll get the left rear. And now I am in the left rear, and that is my reading. Okay, so for right now, since I'm up here up top, I just tapped into both front sensors, and I am going to get you guys on the scope just to see what it looks like. That was the left front. Now I'll do the right front. Alright, so I am spinning the right front, and you can clearly see the left front signal, which I have channel A. I do have that on what would be the known good, and you're seeing that obviously, well, this is a front wheel drive, so both wheels are spinning both front wheels are spinning when I spin either or, it looks like. But I'm sitting here spinning the right front, and nothing on the red trace. Alright guys, so this is what I've decided to do for right now. Again, I know that I still have not load tested the circuit, but I'm just staying up top here for right now, and I wanted to get some readings with the scope. So I've got my two front sensors. That's what I am probing into, but I'm probing into both wires for each sensor. So I've got 4 going right now. It's going to be the basically kind of like power supply, and then the signal for each of the 2 sensors. And so I'll start the vehicle and show you what we got. Okay, so what we got here is when I cranked it up and then let it idle, and then here's this portion with the green. That is when I put it in gear and let the wheels spin. The blue and the green are both from one sensor. That's going to be the front left, the one that is working. And the red and yellow are for the other. Now, if you look at this, when I turned it on, you see this activity in the front right sensor circuit, and it's on both the yellow and the red, as you can see there. So there's the yellow, the red goes up that high, but it's multiple kind of let's call it pulses that it does right at the beginning. And this second portion here is I just after I keyed it off here, I keyed it on and then keyed it off, and each time it keys on, it gets powered up. This is happening, and then obviously we know the other circuit, the other side, the other wheel is good as far as its power supply for going out towards the sensor. So there is something going on here on this circuit for the front right, and obviously I don't know what I'm looking for, but that looks like some sort of activity, like the module attempting multiple times to get the circuit going, let's say. Okay guys, so just out of curiosity, I've unplugged the sensor for the front right, and I'm going to go through that key up cycle again. And I just want to see if it makes any type of difference with it unplugged. So let's go ahead and start. And all I got to do is key it up. So I'll go ahead and key it up. Okay. Let's stop this and let's take a look. It's definitely different. Oh, look at that. So we get actual supply voltage coming out. Interesting. Obviously it drops off here. Okay, just for giggles, I'm going to unplug this side. So we've got that unplugged. Get you guys back here on the scope. Let's get it running, key it up. Okay. I'm hoping to see the same exact for both sides. Alright. So, before we make an expensive incorrect call of potentially saying the module is faulty and not putting out supply voltage, or it's just pinging on the circuit, let's call it. With both unplugged, it's acting the same way. It'll supply, it'll notice that the circuit is open, and then it cuts off its supply. Both sides are doing the same thing, so I think both sides are good as far as the module. Alright guys, so my next move is to plug in the sensor. Again, these are new sensors, so I'm plugging in the sensor from the front right, the one that's causing all, or the side that's giving us the issue when it's plugged in. So I'm plugging it in to the left side. Just gonna let it hang, and I'm gonna key it up, and then we'll watch the scope. Alright, I got the card down. I will key it up. Alright, let's take a quick look, but we already can tell that we don't have that pinging on the left side with that sensor from the right, and voltage stays up constant, doesn't drop out like this side because there's no sensor there. Circuit is intact, and so voltage stays constant. So it's not the sensor. Alright, so we attempted to do a load test already, and nothing lit up, which didn't make sense because both wires weren't lighting up. I expected at least one to not turn the light on, but remember, we did have continuity when we tested both from up top. And so, to show you what we found, so we are going to go in pink wire, and then I will tap into the pink one up here, which is, it's this guy here. So there, connected, open, still in there. Now we'll switch to the green down here. And then I'll switch to the green, which, let me double check, make sure. So it's this guy here. And then nothing. So again, that is not making sense because we're ohming green to green, open loop, then pink, again open. But it doesn't make sense because when we ohmed these two with the sensor connected, we did get a reading. But we were messing around, and then so we're still on green up here. We're green down here. And go to pink. If we go to pink, now we get a reading up here at the meter. And if I get off of green, go to pink, again, it's open. But if we go to green down here, we get a reading up here in the meter. So the wires are crossed some way, somehow, and they're not correlating with the colors from the top to the bottom. They're basically switched some way, somehow. But so we're going to open up and see if we can find out what's going on. But I think that's what the problem is here. The wires aren't matching from top to bottom. Made the wire repair. We switched the wires back, soldered them, taped it up, reinstalled the sensor. We're back connected with the ABS. We're going to tap into all the same lines. The colors might have changed on the scope, but we should be able to know which ones are which. So we're looking for a power supply to stay. We want to see that cycling of voltage to go away also. So we'll key it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so looks like power stayed up on both. We'll just zoom in. If you want to see wheel speed movement, there we go for both. So that's all it was. Wires were crossed, keeping this from working right. Alright guys, so I just wanted to get a conclusion on this. I wanted to show you no more lights. I know it's hard to tell the glare, but wheel speed sensors, everything is working fine. No check engine. There was a fuse 15 was blown. That affected the O2 sensor code and the evap code. That took care of that. But then there was another code for the air-fuel ratio, like a signal not correct, and ended up being just the sensor was not the correct type or style. So I got a factory sensor, installed it, and no more lights. Obviously, tire pressure deal, but yeah, all of that is taken care of, and that's it for this one.